do these 2 months together, seeing as it took way too long to do January. In January, I read 3 books. 2 of them I DNF'd. 1 of them I read all the way through. So let's start with the audiobook, Chasing the Stars by Mallory Blackman. I've read from this author before. I'm pretty sure I read Noughts and Crosses by this author, and I really enjoyed Noughts and Crosses, but I thought I'd like this. Like, this was like a sci-fi romance, and basically you were following this girl called V and her love, Nathan. You were following them two and their little love story, really. They were on a ship in the middle of a war and trying to escape this virus of some sort, but it just wasn't for me. So I didn't end up finishing this. Then I tried to read Bunny by Mona Awad. Can't remember how far I got into this, but I think I got like over 200 pages in. It just wasn't for me. Like, I liked how creepy it was. I liked the cultiness of this. At the time, during reading Bunny, I was like, what the actual fuck am I reading? It's like very strange. And so the bunnies. The bunnies are a group of university students. They're just strange. Like, I don't tell you, even to this day, I don't even know what the fucking bunnies were. I don't know if they were human. I don't know if they were witches in disguise of a human. Like, they were very fucking weird. Like, they can hex and curse people. I mean, someone's head doesn't just explode for no reason. Also, I forgot to mention this, but even the bunnies, like, they got little bunny rabbits, right? And even they were exploding due to some sort of ritual, apparently. I don't think this was a normal ritual. I really think they were a cult of witches or something. I mean, I did like the strangeness, the weirdness, and the cultist things, but I didn't like the Mean Girls aspect of this whatsoever. So this year, like, really hasn't been the best reading year at all. The fact that I had 2 DNFs in January. And then I also had a DNF in February. So that was fun. But after I decided to DNF Bunny, I decided to go back to Mistborn and read The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sands. I have to say that I gave Bunny 2 stars because I did like some aspects of it. Just wasn't the greatest thing. Anyways, let's get back to talking about Well of Ascension. Just a heads up, this one does have a slow start compared to the first one. Like, after 100 pages, it started to speed up with this one. And I loved being in this world, I really did. I needed a break from this world though, because a specific character dies in the first book. And then I thought another character died as well, which was traumatic for me, so I didn't really want to go back into this world straight away. I loved being back in this world again. To be honest, it felt like I was visiting old friends. Like, this felt like a lot more tense than the first one. And at one point I was like, oh, I feel like a lot of shit is about to go down. Because you could just feel it building up. Like, threats were being made, armies were arriving. I was just wondering if a new king would arise, or if the king would stay the same person, or be like the old king, be put back on the throne. Like, this motherfucker of an author, I swear. He literally, at the end of this, he had me full on sobbing for a good bit over a character. Only to find out I sobbed for no fucking reason at all. Like, I both loved and hated Brandon Sanderson after finishing this. This was 4 stars. So out of all of the books that I read in January, this one by far was my favourite. So this was put on the best books of the year. February was not good for me. February, mental health wise, it wasn't good. Like, I was constantly anxious during February and just constantly having mental health days in that month. But before I go dive into February, let me just get the 2 books that Josh got me for as a gift, because he knew I was on a book buying ban. I still am. So in January, Josh got me Fairy Tale by Stephen King. I'm absolutely in love with the cover of this, and I am so excited because this is a Stephen King fantasy. Josh knows anything Stephen King I will happily read, so I am so looking forward to this. And we'll see what happens in this. I don't want to read the back because it's a Stephen King. Like, come on, I'm gonna vlog it if it's Stephen King. And he got 2 copies of Dune by Frank Herbert because we both really want to see the film. So we're gonna be buddy reading this at some point, and I will vlog our entire experience with this book. The other reason why we got Dune is because the fact that loads of people are saying that the book is a hell of a lot better than the film, because apparently the film was complete rubbish compared to the book. I don't know when that's going to happen though. Maybe when we both finish a book at the same time. I don't know. Yeah, like I was saying, February was just not a good month for me mentally wise, and it just wasn't a good month for me like reading wise either. I read 2 books in February, no 5 stars. Total challenge is completed 4 out of 4, so I started a romance at the end of the month. That romance was a cover by also a book with flowers on the cover and a guilty pleasure author, which happens to be Brandon Sanderson. But yeah, February wasn't good for me, so I read Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. I tried to read Madly Deeply by Alan Rickman. I did start that as well. I tried to read The Sanatorium by Sarah Pearce as well, but I just was in such a big book hangover from Well of Attention. I just had to start Hero of Ages in February, and I'm going with the dates in the diary as so, like, it's the 3rd of March today. I haven't got one to read today. I've got a diary entry to read tomorrow because it's the 4th of July in that. But it's the 4th of March tomorrow. So I have therapy tomorrow. So that's fine. Anyway, Hero of Ages was the only book that I actually finished. I did start, like I say, I started Madly Deeply but at the Alan Rickman Diaries, and I started another book which I'll talk about after this. 25% I was loving the fact that we have multiple point of views in this one and learning the backstory of Spook. There's a lot about armies in this one, and I loved that our characters have been left a sort of puzzle / map to figure some certain things out. It was like mystery within a fantasy, which I really liked. like I was saying before, I did fall mentally ill whilst reading this, so I didn't finish it quicker than I thought I would. But every time I came back to this, every time I picked it back up, I was gripped yet again. I was so gripped. Like, this kept me happy along with my uni studies in February. Like, the plot twist at page 600. Oh my god. And the one at the fucking end. Like, the one at page 600 got me so excited that I was like, oh my god, how the fuck is this gonna end? How the fuck is the rest of this gonna go? And then the one at the end, like, wow. I can't say too much about it because it's massive spoilers. But let me just say, wow. Like, it got me so really excited and gripped. Like, I was a little bit sad about certain things at the end of this book, but overall it was a very satisfying ending. And I was just, like, after I finished this book, my heart was just full of fucking joy. It really was. I was so full of joy. And then I tried to read Pine by Francine Toon. Let's put it here because I've returned it to the library. This was very eerie. Like, it was eerie that everyone was having amnesia around this specific woman, except Lauren. Like, so for example, these people would see this woman, and then the people that had seen this woman had forgotten all about her. It was alright in that aspect, but nothing was wowing me or exciting me in this book. So I ended up DNFing it after 2 days of reading it, and I got 100 pages through Pine. Let's go through what I got for Valentine's Day from Josh. So, I have 4 books to show you, but one of them is Josh's. So, Josh got Wallbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. He's very excited about this. I'm excited about it as well because I've heard really good things about this one. So, I'm excited to read this one as well. So, I've put this one on my TBR as well. With the other 3 of mine. So, you have Boys in the Valley. Literally a day, like on the 13th of February, I heard really, like, I watched a video review of this book, and literally the next day Josh took me to Waterstones and I saw it and I was like, I need it because I'm gonna forget about that review. I've heard it's so good. I think her name, the woman that I watched, I think her name's Willow Talks Books or something, her channel name. I will link Willow down below. She inspired me to get this book. Watch her review. I think that's her name. But yeah, I'm excited to read this. Then we have a future buddy read. It's also a book club read. And that's My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. Me and Chloe are going to be reading this together at some point. I don't know when. We really want to read this in October. We also want to read Hallows Eve in October. So there's 2 fucking books that we want to read in October. I am looking forward to this. I really love the 80s vibe. Like 80s VHS sort of vibe of this. And I love Grady Hendrix anyway, so I'm looking forward to reading this with Chloe. Also forgot to mention that I love how floppy the paperback is, and I love how big the paperback is. Like, I only have 2 paperbacks that are that big. That is My Best Friend's Exorcism and Rose Madder by Stephen King. And then last but not least, I saw, like, this is a new release, and I knew this was coming out in February, but I didn't know it was out. Feybound by Sarah L. Arifi. Just look how beautiful this is. Like, we had to go back because it has the maps. We had to go back to Waterstones to see the fact that the map is on both the front cover, like the front and the back map was ripped to shreds, like you couldn't even read it. So we had to go back and get another copy. It is so gorgeous. It's stunning. I love the foiling, and it reminds me of Witcher. Ciri. It reminds me of Ciri. Like the main character, Yevon, reminds me of Ciri, and then Lethal, her sister, reminds me of Yennefer. So I'm excited to read this. But yeah, my favourite book of February was Hero of Ages. So I kind of had to put these two against each other. So Well of Ascension versus Hero of Ages. Hero of Ages wins only by 0.75 stars. So Hero of Ages won that one. Right, what's happening now? So at the minute I'm listening to Left You Dead by Peter James, and I'm really enjoying this so far. Basically, we are following a case. So a woman called Eden has gone missing, and her husband is the main suspect. And the thing is, I do think the husband did this. I think the husband killed her, because the more and more things that get said about him, and the more and more things that I read, like I listen to about him, more and more suspicious he gets. And he's at the top of my suspect list at the minute. So I think he killed her. I really do. And then at the moment, physically, I'm reading Call Me By Your Name by Andre Aciman. I'm about 112 pages in, so I'm nearly halfway. This is really good so far. Like, I'm having a good time. It's okay because I'm not usually a romance reader. So this is about two boys called Elio and Oliver. Elio is the son of a guest house owner, and Oliver comes to stay at this guest house for the summer, and Elio ends up falling in love with him, and Oliver ends up falling in love with him back. I've just got to a part where they've just kissed, and the situation now, it feels like they're both closeted bisexuals, and it feels like they are not supposed to be doing this, because I feel like we're in 1980s Italy, and I don't think they're supposed to be gay, but they love each other. Like the way that Elio thinks of Oliver is adorable. Like, he worships him. He worships the entire floor that he walks on. He worships everything about him. Like, he loves him. He's obsessed in a cute way. It's not creepy at all. It's the obsession. It's just adorable as well. And these two are supposed to be 17. They are written like they are in their 20s, which I quite like. But yeah, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Comment below if you've read any of these books that I've held up, like whether I've got them bought for me or whether I've actually read them myself. Feel free to give me any recommendations if you have any. Let me know your thoughts on them, and I shall see you in the next video. Stay delicious, guys. Bye.